Hello. So, game week 20. Game week 19 is just finished. Game week 20. Thought I'd make a little video, try and figure out what I'm going to do. So it's a bit confused. I keep getting confused about where we're at, because all the days, all the game weeks are kind of bunching up. It's Christmas, on holiday. It's all kind of like, I can't keep forgetting where I'm at. So game week 19 is now concluded. Game week 20 is on Saturday, deadline 11 o'clock. We're Friday right now, so quick turnaround. I've already made my game week 20 transfer. I did Semenyo to Rodgers. This is why I'm getting confused, because I was going to do Virgil to Gabriel as well, and I was thinking I'll do that as soon as game week 19 is finished. So I was thinking I'll do it Thursday night, and it's like, hang on, no, I've already done my game week 20 transfer. I've got to wait till Saturday when the deadline opens for 20, and then I can do the Virgil to Gabriel on Saturday night, ready for 21 if I want to go early. So it's all getting a bit mixed up. But we're basically halfway through the season though, so that's game week 19 officially done. Halfway point, we've got all our chips back again. So it's a good moment to kind of take stock of the first half of the season, I guess. I used my free hit in game week 19, and I did very well, 17 plus points there, so I'm up until like 750k, little more healthy. Clawed back some of the gains from the free hit 13. Yeah, pretty good. It wasn't amazing. It was a weird, I just decided with the free hit that I may as well go for it. You only get this one opportunity with a free hit, where you get another later, but it's a rare opportunity. I may as well go for it. It's a kind of win big or win lose thing. So I started erring on the side of taking risks. So there was like Gordon, Palmer, Gabriel, and then Trossard. Those four were very risky players. I thought, I really wasn't sure if they were going to start or not, and usually I'd be much safer. And I just thought, I'm going to go for it. And luckily all four of them come through, and particularly Trossard. I really thought there was a good chance Martinelli could start that one. But I just had this vibe. I just didn't want to go for double Man City against Sunderland. I just really wanted a piece of the Arsenal left wing against Aston Villa. Yeah, it's a good feeling when that happens, when you just, stick your neck out and then it comes through. So that was really nice. But I don't know, it doesn't always happen. So that was good. Anyway, free hit went well, 58 points, up to 750k. Nice way to end the year, start of the second half. So I've got to get back to normal mode, back to my normal team, and I've got a few issues. Ampadu's suspended, which is a pain. I think he got his fifth yellow in game week 19, so he's suspended, which is a real pain. Richards, it looks like he's probably still out. I'll have to double check the news. I think it sounded like he's probably still out until maybe 22. So he's probably out. Krupi's playing Arsenal anyway, and Krupi Jr. I'll come on to him in a minute, because now that Semenyo's leaving, he may get more minutes. He did play a little bit of left wing when he played for Lorient, I think. So he may get some more minutes. So I'm semi glad to have him, but we'll see about that. I don't think I'll play him against Arsenal anyway. And then I've got O'Reilly, and I think, what's the time? Nearly half one. Pep's got a press conference any minute now, so we'll find out. He'll probably say just let's wait and see or something. But if O'Reilly's out, I might have to, because there was a talk of him getting injured. He went off early in game week 19. If he's out, I may have to take a hit. So I'm going to have no bench. I don't really want to play Krupi against Arsenal. So I may take a hit, but then a hit for one game week, I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just take it on the chin. Maybe I'll just play Krupi and get a one-pointer if I'm lucky. And yeah, I don't know. So I've got to decide that. Hopefully he'll say he's fine. And if he says we'll just wait and see he's got a chance, I'll probably just chance it and play him. But O'Reilly's numbers recently have just, like, he was doing really great for numbers. His numbers are all really good, like 0.5 XGI, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Here he got a 0.8, a 1.9 there, a 1.2 there. And then just in the last four, he's had nothing, seemingly nothing there, nothing, 0.1, nothing. So I do wonder whether Pep's like, he's young, he's slowing down a bit. Let's just put Vardy left back for a bit, and we've got Ake to come back in centre back now with Diaz or something like that. I don't know. So Yeah, a bit nervous about O'Reilly now. But hopefully I can chance it this game week. Hopefully I can chance it. I don't really want to sell him. He is somebody who, if Man City get a blank in 31, he's somebody who, because I had this plan of like, I want to go into game week 31 with, I want to dead end into it if I can. I don't really want to have to use all, say 5 free transfers, then use them all in game week 31 to clean out the blankers, and then wildcard in 32 with no rolled transfers, because I want to have some rolled transfers if I'm going to wildcard in 32. So ideally I would start to unpick some of the blankers early, and O'Reilly and Foden and maybe Richards or something, these are players that I might be willing to unpick a bit earlier, so that I can actually get to 31, use my bench, just use a couple of free transfers, and actually be able to roll some transfers into a wildcard 32. So O'Reilly is potentially on the chopping block, but I don't really want to sell him. These fixtures are pretty good, apart from Liverpool away. Man City's fixtures are pretty good, and if they don't get the blank, if Newcastle actually beat them in the EFL Cup, which could happen, Man City are like 60% favourites, so Newcastle could still got a chance. Then he's a really good pick, right the way up to 31. I wouldn't want to sell him at all, so probably. So O'Reilly, I don't really want to sell him. I may just, I need to kind of read the room a bit. I think I might chance it. We'll see. Anyway, everybody else is alright. I think I'm going to play Dubravka over Petrovic again, because Petrovic is playing Arsenal. They're playing them at home. Bournemouth's defence is better at home, but it's still Arsenal. Arsenal really want to win the league this year. And Burnley, Dubravka. Bournemouth's defence is getting better. If you look at the form, last 6 game weeks, Bournemouth are rock bottom now, 1.98. That's promoted team standard right down there. Brighton are actually quite low, and Chelsea. Look at that, and Villa. I only just noticed that. Villa, Chelsea, Brighton, and Bournemouth, the bottom 4 in the last 6. That's interesting. But then Burnley are here, 1.48 is actually kind of average. Like in previous seasons, that's a pretty average kind of XGA. Still bad for the season, but the last 6 they've been doing alright. So, it's not. What's that? Is it just the home games? It does look like they're a little bit better in the home games, but not too bad. So I might chance Dubravka again. Probably will. And then I've done Semenyo to Rodgers. Hopefully Rodgers will just stay there now till game week 31. Just a solid 90-minute man, play every game. Don't have to worry about him. 0.5 XGI, will get a return every other game. That kind of fella. Anderson will come in. He's just a nice little 4-point stopgap kind of player that I'll just stick him in there. So he's fine. Haaland, Ekitike's fine. Ekitike got didn't he get 1 point? What did he get? He got a lot of XGI in that last game, I think. Ekitike. So I think he's done well. I'm not really worried about him. I've only just brought him in. 1.2 XGI. So he was unlucky to not get anything in that game. The plan is to still keep him until wildcard 32, so just stick with him the whole way. So that's still the plan. Foden, 3 blanks. People are getting nervous. His price is coming down. He's dropping in price tonight, apparently, which is a pain, because one thing I wanted to talk about in this video, I should have said this at the start, is like a big question I've been trying to figure out is how can you tell whether a free transfer is worth it or not? Like, I wanted to kind of get a measure of like free transfer threshold of if it's worth it or not. And I've got, I'll get onto it in a minute, but like I've got 3 transfers I'm thinking of doing at the moment, and I've not got much money in the bank. If I want to do like Virgil to Gabriel is one that I'm thinking of doing, and then if I want Bruno in 24, I'm trying to think of who I'm going to sell, and at the moment I think it's Foden. So Foden to Bruno I can do and I've got 0.2 wiggle room. But if Gabriel goes up tonight and Foden goes down tonight, that's my 0.2 gone. So I'm going to have to hope that I'm right on the line there. I'm going to have to hope that Bruno goes down as well. So it's a bit tight. and I'm not feeling like I have many other options. Maybe I do. I guess one option is just to keep Foden. That's not the worst. And also just to keep Virgil. But I'd rather have Gabriel if I can, or maybe do Timber to Gabriel and keep Virgil. That's a possibility. Virgil does have Burnley. I hate calling him Virgil. Van Dijk. He does have Burnley in Game Week 22, which would be a nice game to hold on to him for. But yeah, got quite tight for money. And one thing to note, I've heard a few people saying like, how are you going to get Palmer or how are you going to get Bruno? And people are thinking, well, it's going to be Saka. But at the moment, Saka is still fairly likely to get this. They might get this double in 26, Arsenal. If they get to the EFL final and they finish in the top 8 of the Champions League, which at the moment is both fairly likely, that Wolves game is probably going to come to 26 midweek there. And so are you going to want to sell Saka before that? If we're heading into like Game Week 24 and Arsenal have got Leeds, Sunderland, and then a Brentford away, Wolves away double, are you going to want to jump off Saka in 24? I mean, people might start doing it. I bet some people will look at it in 21 and say Saka to Palmer without realising that there could be this double coming. Saka will have Liverpool. They'll jump to Palmer there. Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and then this run. Not a terrible idea, but then you lose out on Saka. But maybe you bring some other Arsenal player in. If they get the double, you just bring Rice back in or something. I don't know. Yeah, you could do something like that. Yeah, Rice, something like that. And then also Bruno as well, because I was half thinking, well, maybe it would be Saka to Bruno would be my way of getting Bruno back in. But again, I'm going to want Bruno Game Week 24-ish. I could just go without and then bring Bruno in 27 instead. That's not the worst. So I suppose that's an option as well. Yeah, anyway, that's my thinking. That's my team. It's all fine apart from O'Reilly. I just need O'Reilly to start, and then I can squeak through with Kroupy first bench for an extra point if I need it, or just an extra small chance. I just need to squeak through this game week if I can. Then next game week, I was thinking of doing Van Dijk to Gabriel. Probably like tomorrow night, just as soon as the deadline's done, so I can get the price changes. And the reason for that is that even though Van Dijk's he's got Arsenal away, but then he's got Burnley at home, whereas Arsenal have Liverpool at home and then Nottingham Forest away. But my model has like Gabriel so much higher than Van Dijk. This is 21 to 22. That's Gabriel there. Where's Van Dijk? I've changed the settings somewhere. Oh, he's right down here. That's because I'm not looking at minutes. But Gabriel's predicted like 6.5 points for both of those games, whereas Van Dijk's predicted like about 4 and a 5, something like that. And Van Dijk's XGI is just really low. He just doesn't. He's had no goals, no assists all season. Doesn't seem to get much. He's got Van Dijk gets more DEFCON, but Gabriel still gets a decent amount of DEFCON, and then his XGI is just so high. 2 goals, 2 assists. Really good XGI. And I guess Liverpool and Nottingham Forest are just not that difficult, or in terms of XGI. Yeah. Whereas Arsenal's away is considered difficult for Van Dijk. So, yeah, I think I'll probably still do Virgil to Gabriel in 21, even though it feels a little counterintuitive maybe, but that's the thinking. 21, Chow, O'Reilly again. I really need O'Reilly to not be a problem. If we look at Man City's fixtures here, they are quite tight. I mean, they can all get rests in this Exeter game here, home to Exeter. They've got the EFL game here, but this is the run we're in here. There's 19, there's 20, there's 21, just 3 days rest between each game. It does feel like there's every chance some people could get rotated in that game there. It's quite a tight turnaround. O'Reilly can play 390s in a week like that. He's done it loads of times before this season. But, yeah, it's tight, isn't it? Vardiel could easily play left wing. So I may need to think about that. Saka's fine, Foden's fine, Anderson, Rodgers, Ekitike. I mean, this Liverpool-Arsenal game is not fine. It's not great. Ekitike versus Arsenal. I think this is going to be one of those game weeks where I just have to hold my nose and just do it. You never know. Yeah, Ekitike is not great for that. It might have been nice to have something a bit stronger somehow, somewhere. But I'm gonna have to play Ekitike. I bought him for the long run. I think I'm gonna have to play him for that and just hold my breath. And then going forward, I think we're fine. Yeah, he's got the Burnley fixture next. Yeah. So, what do I want to talk about? Yeah, the main thing I wanted to talk about was I was trying to figure out this transfer threshold. How can you tell whether a free transfer is worth it or not? And I feel like I've been using them too much. I feel like those 5 free transfers we got for AFCON made my head go a bit crazy. I think I suddenly just felt like I had so many transfers. I started splashing them out, and then I lost that sense of like whether a transfer is worth it or not. I think because in FPL I often feel like you have to kind of play. There's a kind of balance where you don't want to be too aggressive, but you don't want to be too cautious either. You don't want to take too many risks, but you don't want to play it too safe. And things like with the budget as well. You know, you might think that if you just keep like 2 or 3 million in your bank, it makes you feel nice and safe, and you makes you feel like you've got this flexibility. But if you have 2 or 3 million in your bank for the whole season, then all you're doing is just handicapping yourself against all the other managers will be maxing out their budget and, you know, using the full budget, whereas you'll be like on 97 million for the whole season or something, 3 million less. So ideally, you want to kind of be pushing your budget a little bit. And I almost feel like if you get to that point where you might have to take a hit every now and then, maybe that's a good sign that you're actually living on the edge a bit, you know, pushing it to the limit. So that might be a good thing, because I was thinking of when I got these 5 free transfers, I started kind of splashing through them, and I was regretting some of the transfers I made. Like 3 of them were, let's have a look here. 3 of them was, what was it? Oh, I did a free hit. I'm not going to be able to tell on there. But I did, I basically upgraded my bench. So I did Garner to Anderson, Xhaka to Ampadu, and Gu to Krupi. So Xhaka to Ampadu made me about 0.2 million, but Anderson was 0.4 million up, and Krupi was about 0.3 million up. So I'm about I spent an extra 0.5 million on my bench to get Anderson in there, who I think is an upgrade, and Krupi, who is an upgrade on Gu. And that was probably a waste. And I look back now, and I look back now and I slightly regret it. But I think I don't want to beat myself up too much about it though either, because I do think it's good to push your limit a little bit, and Krupi could come in handy. He probably is better than Gu, and Anderson, well, I think he is better than Garner in general. Obviously, Garner had that massive monster haul last game week. Yeah. And in another not too distant alternative universe, if I had free hit in 13 and played safer with the transfers, I think there's every chance I would have played Garner that game week, because Xhaka had Man City and I might not have played him for that. I think I would have played Garner last game week, so that's a shame. But yeah. But trying to figure out whether a transfer is worth it or not, I think they probably weren't worth it. I probably shouldn't have done it. But still, it's a bit of improvement. And so how do you work out whether a transfer is worth it or not? I mean, I don't know. I should have prepared this a bit more. I don't really know. I think I'm going to have to maybe think about it in another video, or if anybody has any thoughts about it, let me know. But I was trying to work it out. Like you get, over the course of the whole season, this season we'll get 37 free transfers. You don't get one when you wildcard or when you free hit. You got the 5 extra AFCON transfers. 37 free transfers. And so, of all the different moves you can make, there's all kinds of different transfers you can make. Sideways transfers, luxury transfers, good transfers, bad transfers. the worst kind of transfer you could make is probably to sell Haaland to like Obi or some kind of crap forward and play Obi every week and captain him every week from now to the end of the season. That would be, and keep that money in the bank and do nothing with the money. That would be a terrible transfer. And the opposite would be, a really good transfer would be the opposite. If you're playing Obi every week, sell him with money in the bank, sell him to Haaland, captain him, great transfer. And then there's all these other transfers in between those two scales. And you've got all these sideways transfers where we're looking at these fixtures and trying to kind of jump from Saka to Palmer. Is that worth it? Or do you just stick with Saka? Do you really need to do that? And all these little chops and changes that we do. Yeah, and you don't want to, again, so you want to have a balance because you don't want to do nothing. If you just do nothing, you don't want to end up burning transfers because then it kind of feels like you're not really maximising things enough. Certainly out of all these 37 transfers we get, you're probably going to get at least 1 in 4. You're going to get some kind of red flag in your team where you've got your 11 players in your team, everyone's got a position. When somebody gets a red flag, they're out for a few months or something, you just plug and place. You just replace him out like Semenyo to Rodgers. He's just that like 7 mil spot in my midfield. Semenyo's not an option anymore. Take him out, stick Rodgers in. One transfer, job done. And so you're going to have some of these 37 transfers will be just used by them, those types of transfers. But then you're probably going to have, what is that? 37 divided by 4, 10. So you're going to have about 27, let's say 25-ish transfers throughout the season to target fixture swings, luxury sideways transfers maybe. When a player, because you're going to make some bad transfers. Like at the start of the season, I had Fulkrug and Wirtz and some other players. I think I had Jeremy at some point, and some of these transfers just don't work, and you have to just jump off them. So you need some for that, and then we've got doubles and blanks at the end of the season, which I need to kind of do the maths on a little bit and try and figure out whether a transfer is worth it or not. Because some of these transfers right now, Saka to Palmer, some of these are a bit slightly sideways transfers. Are they going to be worth more than getting rid of a blanker in 31? And if you end up having to take a hit to get rid of a blanker in 31, then I guess you go back to Saka to Palmer and say, are you 4 points confident that Palmer's going to outscore Saka by more than 4 points? You probably need to factor that in if you think it's going to end up with you taking a hit later on as a cause of using that extra transfer. I suppose that's not a bad rule. Maybe that's the rule, is like whatever transfer you're going to make, even if it's just a sideways luxury transfer, if it's for a period of time and you think that the player you're bringing in is going to outscore the player you're getting rid of by more than 4 points, then maybe that's the threshold. Because even if you feel confident about that, then even if you do end up overusing your transfers, you can just use a hit later on, and it won't hurt as much. That could be a good guide, maybe. With me, I usually use 6 to 8 points. I want, if any transfer, if I was going to take a hit, I'd want the player coming into my predicted points to predict that he's going to score 6 or 8 points more, not just 4. Because I want to have a little bit more confidence that he's actually really going to outscore. Preferably even bigger than that, though. So, something like that. I don't think the difference between these players, though, is usually that much, though. Palmer's he's not XGIing that high at the moment. So, from 21 to 30, let's say. From 21 to 30, I doubt that Palmer will be near Saka, so it wouldn't be worth a 4 point hit. It wouldn't even be worth a free transfer probably. Saka's third. I got Saka third in that run. He's got an okay fixture run. Whereas Palmer, I'm gonna have to search because he's probably quite low at the moment. Palmer 79th. He is on. Well, he's got up to 0.48 XGI now. He got that penalty, so his XGI is getting back up to 0.5 territory. I suppose he's gone 75% start rate, so you've got to be sure he's going to start every game. Whether he will or not is a bit of a risk. If he does, he gets up to 42, but then Saka's still 53 here, and that's with him not even starting every game necessarily. So yeah, things like that. How to tell whether a transfer is worth it or not. Yeah, and I think I just want to be really cautious. I don't know the answer. I need to look into it more. But it's tricky to know whether to take a hit for O'Reilly, whether to how aggressive to be with it. Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, I'm just pulling back a little bit, to the extent that I might even if O'Reilly's out, I might just play Kroupy, play with 10 men and Kroupy. I've kind of swung right back the other way now and starting to feel like I want to save my transfers now. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say. Don't think there's much else to say. So, yep, just a quick one. I'll leave it there. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.